Hello, everybody. Welcome to another B.M.B. podcast. My name is BJ.
My name's Mike.
In this episode, we are minus the B and Brian. So, so we're going to do a special music podcast today. Talk about today's music, old music, what got us into music, everything from cassette tapes to 8-track.
To singles, kind of like what this episode is. It's a little cut of just music, and we're going to talk about it and then just see what goes on from there.
I want to get into this Rapture Netflix music series.
Yeah, I've seen that. I watched a couple of those previews.
Yeah, so I watched a couple of them. They have like Logic has a episode, T.I., Nas, Dave East, Rhapsody, some other artists that people probably don't know about. I've seen about a couple episodes. The Logic one is pretty cool. The Nas and Dave East one is good. It just kind of goes in depth of how they kind of came up and became rappers and how successful they are and some of them have been grinding for a long time just to get to where they're at.
Yeah.
You don't realize that they've been doing. The one I really loved was G-Eazy. Because I didn't know much about G-Eazy.
He looks old. He looks like he's like an old cat.
Yeah, but G-Eazy...
Or been through some stuff, I should say.
No, probably so. He's from Oakland.
Yeah.
Which I did not know until I watched
I knew that.
Yeah, I did not know he was from Oakland. So, funny, they showed a picture of him with... he had like braids in his hair, like Snoop Dogg back in the day on his prom.
Okay.
A white boy with braids.
That's that Oaktown for you.
That's that Oaktown. And he's real good friends with E40.
Yeah, I heard about that. I think he's even had him featuring on a couple tracks.
Yeah, every album he has E40 featured.
That's cool.
Yeah, so but no, this is grind through the those dungy hip hop shows that you do, try to get your name out there, handing out flyers and stuff. You mix tapes outside, out of your trunk.
See, that's what I used to love about that underground scene. When you go to a big hip hop show, there's like a stage, or even any show for that matter. There's a big stage. You're far away from the artist, and when we would when we go to underground shows, you'd literally be like in a parking lot or an underground parking garage, and it's just they're just on a foot, like a 1 foot thing. And it's a stage, and they're like literally right in front of you. Like you could touch them, and they're just singing right to you. I used to love that feel, but it's that grind, They're just doing anything they can to get their name out there,
Yeah, no, it's true. One of my friends from high school I played basketball with, he became a rapper. And he had a group, and I went to see one of his shows, and I think it was OC. I think it was somewhere in Orange County. I can't remember what city it was. And I go in there, small little spot, very small. Not that many people in there, but everybody was dapping him while he was rapping. Like he didn't care. Like you can put hands on to these rappers before they blow up and be big. And
what do you mean? What do you mean dapping him?
Give him a little pound.
Okay, gotcha. Dapping him, gotcha.
Yeah. Sorry, a little ghetto slang right there.
No, I just didn't know. I thought you meant don't the kids do that dap thing or something like that, where they.
Oh, I don't even know what that is.
I don't know, where they put their arm out and they put their head to their arm or something.
Is that some new shit?
I think so. So that's why I was kind of confused. I was like, "How?" I know they're just pounding him. Yeah.
Yeah, just give him pounds though. He actually told me to go on stage. I was like, nope. I was like, I want no parts of that. I'm not trying to be the guy in the back. The homie.
You don't want to be the hype man.
I ain't trying to be the hype man.
Oh man.
Remember?
Yeah, I know exactly what you're gonna say.
Busta Rhymes hype man.
Yep.
What's his name?
He's always with him though.
When Flipbo Squad is the greatest. Spliff Star.
Okay.
Yeah, Spliff. Spliff was the big time hype man. I remember for Busta Rhymes.
Oh yeah, see that's not where I thought you were going. I thought you were going to talk about. Remember that one time we went to go see that show that one of your guys' friends was a promoter for. I remember I was just thinking, we were talking about the grind and we're talking about the shows, and then it was literally at some bar, with just a bunch of white people there. They're doing rap, but one of those guys were good. I looked for him, Quincy Jones or something like that.
Quincy Jones, huh?
Yeah, he had a name like Quincy something, and he wasn't that bad. I was kind of you seen potential in him,
Yeah, no, I forgot about that show. Yeah, that's another one of those shows like you start from there and you make it big. You realize how hard where you came from just to get to where you're
Yeah.
at. Yeah, I forgot about that. I think that's the show where Brian was going to sell his angel jacket to some lady for like $100
Oh, I remember that. We were outside talking to those the rappers, right?
Yeah, some of them. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But I guess one of the bouncers who me and Brian know from high school talked her out of it. Said you're crazy to pay that much for that. No, I remember that.
So they even had Dave East on there because like I mean like I'm not saying that he's not that good. Like he's not my style. Like I like some of his stuff, but like
Yeah.
I know I looked at like how many albums he's got. He's got a lot of albums, right?
I think he has two like
Oh, okay,
real
then.
albums. He got mixtapes, but
Okay.
I like Davies. Davies can, I don't know. I like his style. I like his lyrics, but the Dave East and Nas episode is like together because Nas signed Dave East on his record label.
Okay.
So there's pretty much it's Nas and it's Dave East. But speaking of Nas, did you ever see his live at the Kennedy Center performance in DC, where they had like violins and all? They played all his classic songs when he performed them.
It sounds familiar, but I don't know if I've seen it though.
Okay, you remember you said wifey likes PBS?
Yeah.
I think it was on PBS.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it was on PBS, and it aired like a couple weeks ago.
Oh,
Yeah.
he just did it?
He just did it. It was so dope. Just to hear the strings and playing all his classic songs. I think it was like a anniversary for Illmatic.
Oh, nice. I'm
So
gonna have to go back and watch
yeah,
that then.
it was real dope. I was like, man, that's cool to hear the sounds of like a real orchestra playing your music like that. Like, it was cool.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we watched yesterday. No, maybe last weekend we watched the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame 2017.
Uh-huh.
There was a lot of good people that were nominated, you know, and a lot of people, they gave it to Tupac, which thought was really surprising that they first of all that they haven't already did that.
Yeah.
That was really shock. And then Pearl Jam was another one that I was really surprised with. I think we were talking earlier, and you said that you actually vote on them. I didn't know people voted on them. I thought there was a committee of people.
Well, no, there's like a fan vote, I believe.
Okay.
So every year, I think the last 2 years I voted, and they have like a list of people who are nominated for to be up for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and I think you can only pick like 5 different artists or something.
And there's
like that.
no genre. You're just talking about 5, period.
Just 5 period of whatever you can. It could be rock, it could be country, it could be rap, it could be jazz, whatever the nominees are for Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. They put a list, and you could just click and vote.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I said. I remember. I think last year, year before, I voted for Pac. I remember that time. I voted for Jackson, Janet Jackson. I voted for her, and I think some other. What's that band called? Was it Journey or Chicago?
Yeah, Journey. Journey got it 2017.
Yes, I did vote for Journey.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember voting for Journey. Yeah, but there were some people on there. I was like, I ain't voting for them. I can't forget who they were. I didn't like.
Oh,
their
so
music.
do they? Okay, so they give you a list then.
Yeah,
and you
they-
vote on that. Okay, I thought you just gave 5 of your
No.
people that you thought should be in it.
No, it's the list that's up for nomination that they give us the vote.
Okay.
Yeah, you can pick whatever. Yeah, but so who else got in that Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? Just Pac and
No, it was ELO, which is like kind of like an old rock and roll band that's kind of like changed a lot of their times over time. You know, like you know, when you go to the 70s is a lot different from the 80s. You know,
Yeah.
so they kind of graduated and done some stuff. There was also Joan Baez, which was like a real or like a singer songwriter kind of girl, I think in the 70s. Journey, like we talked about, Pearl Jam, Tupac Shakur also, and then they had it was really cool because Snoop Dogg got to talk for him, you know, and it was cool because you think about the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and you see the audience, you know, and you know Tupac is not Tupac, but Snoop Dogg is one of those guys that can, you know, he can just talk to anybody, you know, and you know that they are going to understand him, even though it could be like the whitest person, you know, or
Yeah.
it's just Snoop Dogg, you know, he could do it, but when then they started doing some rap songs,
Uh-huh.
and they had like a little concert. They did like a little mix of like 4 of his songs, maybe even 5.
Yeah.
And I was just looking into the audience, I'm like, oh my gosh, these poor people, like some of these people, they don't even know what Tupac was or what any of his music, and here they are, Snoop Dogg's singing on it and stuff. But they kind of softened it up because they brought Alicia Keys out first.
Oh, okay.
And she played the piano and she was singing, doing like a sing rap type of thing of Tupac
Pac.
songs, which was really nice. I really liked that, so that was really cool. But yeah, Trench came out, he sang,
Yeah.
T.I., Snoop Dogg, and there was some other guy. I didn't know exactly who it was. I thought it was Corrupt, but I don't think it was Corrupt.
Nah, maybe not. But I don't want to get into the rumor mill, but I've been hearing this for too many years. I believe Snoop and some of his people have something to do with Tupac's death. I've been hearing too much lately, and over
So,
the years.
what would that? Why would that be?
Well, I know one thing. Snoop's cousin had beef with Pac, for some reason, and I think it boiled over, to the point where, I guess supposedly he set up the shooting in Vegas.
Wow.
But like I said, that's rumors. But I've been hearing too much about Snoop has something to do with it for some years now. I don't know if it's true or not, but if I keep hearing stuff, I'm gonna start believing.
Yeah.
If people are starting to talk now. But yeah, I don't want to get in the whole who shot Pac. Is he still alive? Is he in Cuba? That's what people think. They think he's in Cuba right now.
Is
Some
that where they
people.
think he's at?
Yeah, some people think he's in Cuba chilling right now.
Oh, well, good for him if he is.
Yeah, I read something yesterday about Suge helped him get away with, faking his death or something. I'm like, yeah, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's too much money. He wouldn't let that just walk away.
No. Yeah, so probably maybe right now or midnight, J. Cole's new album tomorrow.
Yeah. I watched a trailer on YouTube about it. I didn't know they were doing trailers for albums now.
Well, everything's social media now. Everything's YouTube. Like, there's no more MTV, we call it, world premieres anymore.
Yeah, I was just telling Laura today. I was like, it would be so funny if Carson Daly got his own YouTube by himself and just started doing like TRL again.
Yeah. Well, TRL's back.
Is it back?
Oh, yeah. The host, some comedian, his name is DC Youngfly, and some chick.
That sounds familiar.
And some chick. Yeah, I watched it once. It's kind of whack.
Yeah, I think that market is completely open for somebody to do something like that on YouTube. Just even if they're just talking about stuff and then even if they just point you to the link, and then you go watch their video, then come back or something. I could just totally see them. There's something like of that type of show,
Yeah, I think YouTube kind of killed those shows because you can watch a music video whenever you want now. You don't have to wait for that show to come on to watch the videos. Remember, you used to wait for the show to come on so you can watch the music video?
Yeah, you used to have to sit there with the cassette in there and ready to press record because you wanted to just even watch the video again, like to tape the video. I totally remember that.
Yeah, because as a kid, I didn't have cable until, freshman year, I think. So I wasn't able to watch music video like MTV or BET. So there was this show called Pump It Up.
Yeah.
And
Yo Raps?
It used to come on Channel 11 at 11 at night on Saturdays.
Oh, no, I don't think I know that.
The host was D Barnes, the one that the one that Dre slapped that Eminem clowned him about in the Guilty Conscious song.
Yeah.
So me and my sisters, we would get the VHS tapes and we would record, and that's how we would record music videos, and we can watch them over and over again whenever we had a chance to. That's when I really got heavy into rap, when I watched that show, because where I lived at, there was really no rap stations to listen to.
Oh, yeah.
So that's where I learned a lot, the new artists. That's why I learned about Tribe Called Quest and De La Soul and Rakim and all them. Watching that video show, Pump It Up. That's like a local LA thing. Only people in the LA area would know about that show.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny how things get passed on like that, back in those days. Like there was another, I think in New York, there was one like Sway. It's not Sway and Tech.
You talking about the Wake Up Show?
Is it the Wake Up Show?
The Wake Up Show was West Coast. They were from Oakland.
No. Which one? Oh, was it Oakland then?
You tell the Wake. Are you talking about the Wake Up Show with Sway and King Tech?
I think it. Yeah, I think it. But it's not Sway. It's not the Sway that's out right now, though, right?
That's not, yes, him. That's him.
No, I'm talking about another one from New York. Then it's a DJ that they used to do. Yeah, and it was like but it was a pirate radio station too.
Okay.
Yeah, I watched a documentary on it a little while ago, and it's funny because I totally forgot about that whole scene. Yeah. And I remember watching the show, and they were doing a documentary of like how this guy got started and all this stuff, and they were just praising him, it was a DJ, and then they used to have a show, and they would just basically do it on a college radio. And then they got out of college, and they got their own studio, and they started doing stuff. And they were like, they were putting people on point. Like they would bring up like, remember Gravediggers?
Yes, Gravediggers was under Wu-Tang, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the Wu-Tang Clan would always come on, and they would, it was basically like a pirate radio station, but it got big. And I remember I used to get cassettes of that.
Yeah.
And that was the way you had to pass them out. There was like, you couldn't record. There was no internet. There was none of that, So we would get or I would get CDs or cases of that, cassettes of that, and listen to it. And I just totally forgot about it. And then when I watched this documentary and these guys were talking, and it's like totally just clicked in my brain. I'm like, oh my God, these are the guys I used to listen to, like every now and then I would like hear about other artists,
Yeah.
It's just funny. That same thing that you were talking about, the Pump Up show, it's like, the way you find out about stuff is just crazy. And that's like one of the things I love about music. It's like we're sitting here and I have that mistake. Our last podcast when I was talking about Thundercat, about him being in Social Distortion, and he's not even just Social Distortion. He's actually in Suicidal Tendencies. And just to come to find out, like you were telling me, he's like, but wasn't there the guy from Metallica was in Suicidal Tendencies? And it's just funny how like music takes you in all these different directions, and it's like even just him himself, that's like an old punk band, or that's a punk band, and then he's actually doing like jazz rap now, and it's just like awesome,
Well, that's the one thing about musicians, their whole mind is not like just rap and just it's music. So whatever hits their soul, they're gonna do. So a guy like Thundercat, you're thinking like he's probably, I like rock, I like jazz, I like rap. He likes probably like everything. So that's pretty cool. I would never thought that he would be in that kind of group.
Neither did I until like I said, we were just there and we just Googled him and found out. Wikipedia, man, it leads you all. It's kind of like music, leads you in all these different directions. And sure enough, I'm like, what the hell? It made me even like him more.
Yeah.
But it's like even like Dre, like he goes back to his roots and grabs beats. That's how he started. Like. We were watching another documentary on just how rap music was made, and Laura's like, I know that beat, but it was just all old,
soul music.
Exactly, just all that old soul music. And she was like, well, do they know that? I'm like, but no, they don't. They know it because that's what they grew up listening to, so they gravitate to that. That's what they know.
Yeah.
So they couldn't make music themselves. For whatever reason, maybe they didn't have the money, maybe whatever, but they made their own music, and that's what they knew. So they went back to that and made music out of old music,
Yeah. I mean, you got to think about their parents, like my dad, the Motown, the Motown sound, those James Brown, all that old sound. Their parents probably were playing that when they were little kids. So when they got older, they're like, look, I can't play bass. I can't play drums, can't play guitar, can't sing, but I remember these old sounds growing up, and if I just tweak them and flip it, we can make a dope beat, rap over it, we got a record. And I mean, real musicians look at that as like laziness, like no talent, but it's pretty hard to kind of flip an old record and make it real good, and people actually going to want to listen to it. It's not that easy as they would think.
Oh no, not at all.
Yeah, unless some of these new trap music producers nowadays, every damn beat sounds the damn same on the radio.
I know, and that's so hard too, because a beat is everything. That is.
Yeah.
I mean, anybody can put. I don't want to say that anybody can put words down on paper, but
Yeah.
there's just something about both of those things going together and working so well. Like that's why I always find it weird sometimes how they say they put the beat to the lyrics sometimes.
Well, yeah, because well, sometimes it can't. It's the opposite. Sometimes a person wants to hear the beat first, and then they'll
See,
write
that's
to
what
the
I
beat.
would think.
Yeah.
Well,
But
that's how
no.
I would do it, because then you're going to that tempo. But I guess if you got some lyrics that just are just fly and they got to get out there, I
Hmm.
guess somebody could tweak it, and they got to tweak it to you too about that rhythm of the
Yeah.
rhythm of the words too.
Yeah. I actually got some lyrics.
Oh, do you?
I've always, ever since I think high school, no, junior high, I I started writing. I had notepads, like I would just write, and I was very into poetry
See,
back then.
when I write, I can write like that. Like I can write poetry and stuff, but I can't, and not even really that all that good. But I don't know, something every now and then I'll just do that, just sit there and just write for a little while.
Yeah, no, it was my therapy because I was a very shy kid. I didn't talk much, so I expressed myself through the notepad and the pen.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, it was it was something that I needed.
And you still do it now?
Actually, I did about a month ago. I didn't. Well, technology has changed. You can do it on your phone. They got a note app,
Yeah.
so I write stuff on there. And I
Does
have,
it
huh?
does the note app that you have now though, does it kind of like remind you to write though?
No, whenever I have a feeling and I'll just go to it. You go, I'm thinking of something. I'm like, I feel like writing something right now, or
Okay.
it's actually tight pushing a button right now, as you say now. So yeah, it's just a feeling. That's how it is with me. That's how it is with me when I make beats. If you guys didn't know out there, I made the intro beat
Yes,
for
we owe that to the first B.
for the podcast. So I make beats here and there. I dabble in the beat making.
See, that's something I wish I did. I've always loved beats, and I've looked at those programs
Uh-huh.
and I get lost in them and I don't understand them all that much, and I feel like I'm end up making the same exact beat over and over again. But
Yeah,
that's nothing but respect for people that can do that.
I'm not even the best. Nobody taught me how to use the program, which I use Fruity Loops.
Yeah,
I just messed with it and messed with it and figured out things and figured out how to take a sample, like get a sample from a song and put it in the program and then chop it up and cut it and then put drums to it and a snare and then maybe a bass line. I mean, it's cool. Um, I wish I fell in love with it more because I don't know, I get bored of it. And I don't want to get bored of it, but I do. And then months go by before I even try again.
so it sounds like it's kind of like you're writing. You get exactly like you said. You get that feeling, or you get that
Hmm.
drive, and you just end up picking it up and just doing it for a little while.
Yeah,
But
because
see, that's I think that's art though. That's the way it is. Like I was in the art classes when I was younger, and
yeah,
like throughout my whole high school and junior high,
uh-huh,
I was like in AP art and stuff, and everybody was like, "Oh, you can do art for a living," and I'm just like, I don't know if I'd want to do art for a living. It's like something that I love to do. It's almost like an escape, and I wouldn't imagine trying to do it like every single day to try to get paid for it. It almost like would lose the desire to do it or the love for it.
that's a funny question because there's this guy at my work and he's very into computers, very smart, knows his computers, in and out. But he wouldn't want to do it for a job. He said
Yeah.
because he said it's like a hobby. He likes doing it for fun. He doesn't want to get paid doing it.
Yeah.
So I kind of understand that. I mean, I wouldn't mind getting paid making beats.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind that. I just wish I had that more passion for it so I can continue to do it more because sometimes I surprise myself. I'll play back something and I'm like, wow, that actually sounds legit. I'm like, that actually sounds legit. Like I can picture some rappers rapping on that thing right now.
Yeah. I mean, there's got to be nowadays with the website. I'm almost positive there's like one of those websites that you put a beat out there, and
Oh,
people
there is.
listen. There is, right?
Yeah, there is.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. And they would pay you to take their beat, or to take that beat.
Yeah, you can post beats to sell. Because a guy I work with, he actually was a producer. And he's pretty good. He's a rapper now. His name is if he listens, I'll give him a shout out. A Classic.
A classic, all right.
Yeah, A Classics. Um, he he would sell his beats. He'll make beats and he would sell them. And he'll be like, look, you can't be cheap on the producers. If you want a beat, you're gonna have to pay for it. And which is understandable because some rappers want, oh, just give me some free beats. Like, no, producers gotta get paid too.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you want this beat, you're gonna have to pay. So, yeah, the music is music. As a kid, music was everything to me. I'm not music doesn't drive me like it used to, but
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I kind of lost that feeling for it. But as a kid, music was my everything.
Do you think though it's something to do with either getting older, just period,
Uh huh.
or is it something to do with the fact that like now that it's everywhere and it's all at our fingertips and it's almost anything, it's almost like I don't want to say the hunt, but it kind of was a hunt when you had to go get the CD, you had to go and get this, you had to, I don't, I think maybe we were just younger then.
Well, yeah, but we became adults, and being adult sucks because we got other shit we got to take care of.
Fucking Toys R Us. Why did Toys R Us have to close? We could have still been kids.
You know what I'm saying? Playing with our GI Joes. But no, going to the store and actually buying an album, and waiting for the radio DJ to be like, "We got a new song by such and such. Stay tuned." When people would say that, right now you say we got a new song premiering. You go to YouTube, boom, it's out there already. You don't got to wait for the DJ.
No anticipation.
No
Nothing's
anticipation.
built up.
I just looked at my phone right now, and J. Cole album's out right now. I can listen to it right now if I want to.
Oh shit.
Instead of waiting until tomorrow on release day, going to the store, paying my $15, ripping up that plastic, putting in the CD player, reading the cover and all the other stuff. Who produced it? Who's featured?
That's one thing I don't like. That feeling like I have to go and now I have to Google it to find out all that type of information.
Oh, that's true.
That's made me almost not really find out producers like I used to know producers. Mm-hmm. Like I don't know them that much anymore because I used to be able to look in the back and find out exactly who produced it, who was this, who did this, and now that's completely gone.
Yeah.
I mean, I know you can find that out on the web, but
it's kind of sucks. That was my whole thrill of seeing who produced every song on the album.
yeah.
That's when I was really into I think it was my junior year in high school when I thought about I wanted to be a producer. That was like my dream.
Oh yeah.
And every album, who produced it. That's how I figured out. That's how I figured about. I already knew who Dre was, and he was a producer. But that's how I figured out about Timberland.
Yeah, one of my favorites.
The Just Blaze. Who was producing back then? Swiss Beats.
Alchemist.
Alchemist. DJ Premier. Just a few, a lot more, but like you find out, oh, they produced such and such. Like when Slum Village came out, you ever heard of rap group Slum Village with Jay Dilla?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he came out their first album,
Climax.
Oh, that's the joint right there.
Oh man.
Yeah, that's the man. So that
that album.
That album. I can't believe I forgot the name of it.
I know it's killing me right now. Like I was killing myself to come up with Climax.
Yeah, but that album came out in 2000.
Are you kidding me?
And one song that I loved back in the day was the one by Farside, "Can't Keep Running Away." That was Jay Dilla produced.
Okay.
I had no clue back then.
Yeah, see, Jay Dilla was one of those guys that I never knew.
Yeah.
George put me on point again with him,
Uh-huh.
and Oh man, and it's the same thing. All the songs I loved, he was on it. He had his finger in them.
Yeah, he produced a lot of stuff, and he did a lot of stuff with a Tribe Called Quest. And but
How did he pass?
he had some kind of cancer or disease. He had something. I forgot the name of it.
Damn.
Yeah, he passed way 32, way too young, way too young,
Gosh.
way too young. And I
Could
didn't
you
really,
imagine?
huh?
Could you imagine? Just imagine like J. Cole and like Jay Dilla.
Well, J. Cole used some of J. Dilla's beats on his mixtapes
Yeah.
before, but that goes on to I think we wanted to talk about was seeing who would you want an old rapper with a new rapper today. You said dead or alive.
Yeah.
And
It
who would you
doesn't
want?
wouldn't even matter. Yeah. Just
Yeah,
just a dream feature, I guess.
yeah. And J. Cole. J. Cole was one I thought of, but it was J. Cole and Tupac because J. Cole he kind of has
Yeah. Yeah. I see what you're saying.
that that Pac feel, but not so hard and thug, but like that positive Pac.
He does.
And I would love to see those two to do a record if they ever could. But Dilla, if he was still producing it, he was so ahead of his time. His beat making, his sounds, like nobody was making sounds like him back in the day. No, nobody was making sounds like him.
I have a funny collabo that I think would be hilarious.
But
Biz Markie and Shaq.
Biz Markie is shit. Play the music with your mouth, big.
Oh man.
Oh man, nah, because those are two clowns, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, two clowns on the mic. Two clowns on the mic. That's
Yeah, I know. I wanted that conversation to start, and I don't even know. I'm totally racking my brain on who I would still even want together. It's like,
I can't think. I mean, if I want to go, like I would like to hear, Joey Badass and like Biggie, Brooklyn Boys.
oh yeah, that'd be awesome.
You know, just spitting, young Joey and Biggie from Brooklyn.
You like young Biggie too.
Yeah, talking about Brooklyn.
Oh,
That would be dope. You know, but a lot of those artists, they have worked with some of the new artists.
yeah.
You know,
Yeah, like I was even wondering, like, has Busta Rhymes and Twister ever did anything? Just because they have both weird deliveries.
I think they might have.
Yeah, I want to say they have. I know that's not a newer, that's more older and older, but they're
Yeah.
flowed. Like I was thinking of like delivery, like who's got some crazy delivery, old and new.
Well, I don't know if you remember way back when Bone came out. Bone and Twister had beef
I didn't know that.
about their flow, like who.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, like who came out with it first and whatnot. But Jay-Z used to rap like that before that.
I didn't know that.
That was the style back. That super, just super fast, tongue twisting rap, like Daz Effects.
Mm-hmm.
And it was Twista and Bone Thugs, and that's how I remember seeing Jay-Z before you knew who Jay-Z was. He was on that one show, Pump It Up, and it was Jay-Z and some guy named Jazzo, some guy who brought him up in the rap game. He's a little bit older than Jay-Z.
Okay.
And they had this song out, and I remember the song, and Jay-Z was just rapping super fast, like way different than he was when he came out with Reasonable Doubt. And that was the style back then, but yeah, I don't know. Jay-Z, I wouldn't want to see nobody collab with Jay-Z though. Not really. I don't have that. No, I wouldn't think that. But yeah, that's crazy. I would like to see some R&B artists though.
Yeah, that where is that old collabo too of like that hard rap with like not even hard rap but just rap with R&B, just that mix. That 90s era was so funny, man. We were able to get away with so much just different styles then though too, because then you even had like P Diddy's whole whole clan, you know, where they were like, some of them were softer and then some of them were grimier, you know, but it was just, I don't know, it all just meshed in some weird way, you know?
Yeah, and R&B's dead, eh?
I think so.
Because who's out? Chris Brown.
John Legend.
Well, John Legend still does like traditional R&B, as you can say. Like most R&B, they're like rappers. When you hear their songs, they're like
Sing rapping.
Sing rapping. They're pretty much.
But there's like that young guy, Kyle. I don't know if you ever heard of Kyle.
No, I never heard of him.
Yeah, I think he does beats too. There's another guy that I like that I think does beats. You know, with the internet now, there's so many people, you know.
Way too many people. You heard of a guy named Russ?
Yeah, Russ. That white boy.
Yeah, Russ is goat. He can
Dude,
sing
he does
and
some
rap.
good beats, right? I think he
Yeah.
does beats too.
He does.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like Russ. Yeah, but I miss the Jodeci's and the R. Kellys and the Boys the Men and that whole. It was okay to be soft back then.
Yeah.
You know, you can listen to Tupac and then you can bust out some Jodeci and you'd be fine.
Yep. No problems.
You know? And that's the. You can't play R&B with your boy in the car now. Like back in the day, you can cruise with some R&B on it and be fine with it. You play R&B now, they're gonna be looking at you funny.
Wait, what you trying to do?
Boy. They thought, why you playing this soft stuff, though?
Yeah. I remember like sitting in the car listening to Usher with another
Yeah,
guy
see?
singing Drop Top, and you know,
See? 7 o'clock.
on the dot. Yeah, you can't do that shit no more.
No.
But see, that comes with I think that same exact idea of where those guys that were doing that music their parents were also listening to the Motown, the jazz,
Yes.
all that type of stuff. So you could still be somewhat soft, and then you could be listening to something soft and be hard, or mix them together because it's just like that's what they listened to. But then they grew up in a state of like, you know, being around gangsters or whatever the case may be, you know,
Yeah.
or have to be a little bit harder, you know, but they still had those roots, you know. And then nowadays it's like the R&B's kind of that's, you know, all that music. I mean, for us, I think it's still somewhat mixed there because we had that in the 90s. But I think these kids nowadays, nobody was. I mean, no, like you said, there's no R&B, there's none of that stuff. I mean, everything is like it's a mush pot, and it's awesome because you can have everything kind of like all be one thing, but not even know exactly what it is. You know, it's like this sing rap, but he's singing about some gangster stuff or some hard stuff, and then he's singing right after that, and it's a good mesh. But
I just have a problem. Well, with the R&B, they're so. It's so blatant. Like it's just like. I don't know. Give me head on the freeway or something.
I was gonna say that it's like graphic, right?
Yeah. It's just like damn. Like really. Like you can't be like I'll take
It's like some stuff you used to be able to listen to with your mom in the car, you know, and not like you necessarily want to, but you know it's not anything too crazy, you know.
Yeah.
But there was some stuff in now that I'm thinking about it. There was some peaches and cream. That was some good stuff, man.
112, 112. Yeah, and
Puffy, you know, Puffy.
Next,
Next were great, man.
yeah.
Where were they from before Next? Were they always Next?
Next, they were under 90 by Nature. I think found them out.
Oh man,
the DJ from 90 by Nature. So that sound when they first came out, I know it kind of sounded like the DJ from 90 by Nature who produces. I think his name is. I'm not going to mess up his name. I forgot.
yeah.
But I think he found them, and that sound when they first came out, it was kind of like that naughty sound, but an R&B little swing to it.
Mm-hmm.
So, but no, Next was dope, and that's. I'll tell a funny story. So you know the song "Too Close" by Next,
Yeah.
and basically they're talking about a boner, right?
Yeah.
So this girl in high school loved the song, right? And and so she was kind of innocent, and I was like, one of my friends was like, "Do you know what that song's about?" She's yeah, just dancing close and getting close. She's like, "No, it's about a boner." And her face, you should have seen it. Her face just was like in shock. that it was talking about a boner.
Oh, he ruined that song for that girl.
Yeah, yeah. So some people don't still don't know. I don't know if they knew what they were talking about. I mean, we knew. I
Yeah.
mean, how could you not? How could you not?
Oh man. Yeah, that would be funny. If some people like we want to go see Boys to Men live now, and just before they're done, you know.
Well, it's only three of them now, which sucks.
Yeah.
The deep voice guy's not there anymore.
Is he just not? He's not letting pass or anything, right?
No, he's just not part of the group anymore.
Oh, okay.
Which I don't know. Well, he didn't sing anyway. He just did the whole deep voice thing. You know, they had the classic like 1950s that had the one guy with the deep voice.
Yeah, the ooh wop
Yeah, so
or doo wop.
but they had good harmony. Boys
Nah,
and
they
Men-
were good, man.
Yeah, I saw Brian McKnight live at, a couple years back. He is funny, like comedian when he performs. Like
Really?
between his songs, very funny guy, and he sings just like it was on record. He's a phenomenal performer,
Oh man.
and you know he plays the piano, so if you ever want to go see a good R&B show, go see Brian McKnight.
Was was he a producer of something before,
He
or did he do that after like he got kind of big?
Okay, my good friend in high school, Joe, he was in jazz band,
Uh huh.
and so he was really. That's how I got into jazz from him, listening to him, hanging out with him, and then he went to go play jazz in a band in college at the college
Okay.
jazz band. So I see him perform a couple times in jazz. He let me know that Brian McKnight, before he became solo, he was in this jazz like kind of, I don't know if it's like a doo-wop kind of singing, but he had a group and they sang kind of different.
Okay.
Yeah, and I would never thought because it sounded kind of weird. Like that's not Brian McKnight, but his range was. You can tell why he came up in the music biz, learning different ways to sing, and I think that's why what made him great as a solo artist when he finally. But no, he's written songs for people, you know, produced music for people, especially because he's a great piano player. So, yeah, he's real good.
Yeah, all those good guys like Seal. Remember Seal?
Oh, Sil, kiss from a rose. Yeah, Sil was great. Like Guy used to be like one of my favorite groups back in the day. With Teddy Riley.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Guy. And see, my dad loved some Keith Sweat.
Yeah. Well,
Like when he first came out, like he would bump. See, my dad was funny. He would bump.
nobody over my body.
Yeah, he would bump old school Motown coming home from work or down the street from the store, like we were bumping rap. He'd be blasting that. You know he's home because you can hear it. You hear him down the street. I'm like, yeah. Talk to my sister. Oh, dad's home.
That's
Yeah, he blasts his music. Yeah, that was funny.
that was one thing I always did. I was like, if I got a new car, I'm waiting a little bit, and I'm gonna go get a sound system.
Yeah, they don't do that no more. Nobody cares about sound systems like that no more.
I do. I mean,
Oh,
I don't put speaker. Like I don't
No?
put like bass in there.
Come on, the 215s in the back, in the trunk where you can't even put groceries in there.
Yeah.
You remember those days?
Yes, I had a little Ford Ranger single cab, and I had 210s in the back of it, and there was nothing but seat. There was no, you didn't have anything in the back. It was just seat and then speaker.
Yeah.
And then I got my Ford F-150, and I put 310s in that one.
Damn.
And then I think that was pretty much it. But every other car after that, I've replaced all the stock speakers, and I'm a sucker for JBL.
Oh, okay.
And,
JBL, good speakers.
Yeah, and I basically any car I get, I at least replace all the stock speakers with something.
Oh, okay.
Just try to do something better because I gotta have sound. That is just something.
No, I feel you.
Yeah, I'm not that much of an audio head where everything's got. But if the one place I'm going to be at a lot, it's my car, and I want it to sound good. But I don't put no bass. But I think I might want to put bass.
No? Put the 220s back there, though.
Just 110. 110 will do now. Because I do. I'm still that guy that like I'll come home after the gym or something like that. I only got like a short little ride from my gym right here, but I'll stop
Yeah.
and get the mail.
Uh-huh.
And I'll like after I get out of the gym, I'll always put like I have a rap mix on this app that I got. And it's called Yo Raps.
Yeah.
So I just put all my old rap, and I just roll down the windows and let the kids know, like, hey, this is what it used to be like. This is the old rap. Dad's Effect comes on.
Yeah.
All that old good stuff. Little Naughty by Nature, Public Enemy.
Is your windows rattling?
Not rattling, but they're down. I still I still got to show my face in the neighborhood. It's not like when I was a punk kid, man. I used to be rolling down the neighborhood. I mean, I'll hear some punk kids bumping some rap, picking up somebody, around here.
Yeah.
I'm like, what are those kids doing? And I'm just like, oh my God, I'm that guy now.
The old guy, huh? Get off my lawn.
I know.
Yeah. You always knew who had the dope sound system when you sit in the back seat and you couldn't breathe because the bass
Yeah.
was so much.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Vibrate your back.
Yeah, you just like
I had a buddy, man. He had a Dodge Durango RT. That's like a really fast, big motor car. And then he must have had 415s in the back.
Uh-huh.
And we would bump religiously Dead Presidents,
Jay-Z?
hip hop. Right? Hip hop?
Dead Presidents by Jay-Z? The
No. The Dead Prez. Sorry, Dead Prez.
Oh, Dead Prez. Hip. Hot. Yeah,
And
that bass.
Bass and that. Oh.
Oh, yeah.
If you ever want to test a car's bass, it is that song. So every single time I get a system, ever since then, when I'd get a system, that would be like one of the ones I would listen to first and be like, all right, yeah.
Yeah, that Dead Prez. Yeah. It was funny before we started the podcast, getting back, got my truck, and my sound system in my truck sounds better than my new car. And I'm wondering, because my car's older, my truck is 2006, they were maybe a little bit more about sound back then on cars compared to the now. Now they just want you to have Bluetooth and a backup camera. I don't think they're too worried about how much bass or the sound of the music is in cars nowadays.
Oh.
I think they emphasized it better back then, the sound of music, because that's what people liked back then. They wanted to get in your car and have a bumping sound system.
Yeah, no, yeah, definitely did.
Yeah.
Yeah, like now I think I only have like maybe 6 speakers in my car.
Mm-hmm.
But,
Yeah.
I mean, remember you used to put tweeters?
I never upgraded in my cars.
Oh, no?
I had an old Buick. I could have, but I was like, I don't know.
See, my first car had no radio.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah, no radio, no AC, Nasty Nate, he didn't have nothing.
Fuck that.
Yeah, you had to really like the person you were in the car with if you were going to roll with it without having a radio.
Yeah.
But I was the first guy to get a car in our little group of friends. So we were all jumping and pounding in that car like it was a Lexus, Granted, I would get like a tape deck.
Yeah.
And I would it was like a tape deck with a speaker on it. So it was like a Walkman and had a speaker on the back of it. And I would just hang it on the review mirror and we would just put cassettes in there and play it, Or we put a boom box in the floor, But, oh man, that car was so funny.
Damn.
I always told myself if I got rich or something, I'd go and buy that car again.
Get the boombox.
No, I would do it the same exact way.
That's funny. You remember the Walkmans where you had to put the tape in the tape deck because you didn't have a CD player?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
Remember we used to be able to flip to the B side real fast by hitting the flip button?
Yeah. Yeah. What kind of radio did I have? I was so happy when I got a radio that had a mic port on it.
Oh.
Because not too many radios had where you can plug a mic in there, and it wasn't like it was like a normal size, the bigger size mic adapter that you would plug like a guitar in or something.
Yeah.
So when I was about 11, 12, me and my childhood friend Jacob, we wanted to do like a radio show, right? So
You mean a podcast?
back then we didn't know what the hell podcast was. So what I would do was I would plug in my headphones into the microphone port,
Mm-hmm.
and I would break the headphones that look like freaking
Oh God, you're doing exactly what I think. What I was gonna say too. Yeah, you break the headphones
You
and
break the
with a
headphones.
foam, and it would turn into a mic.
yeah, give one to him and I have the other.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know it could reverse like that.
Yeah. So he would talk out of the right one, I would talk out of the left one, and we would record on my tape deck in my room, and we'd do like a radio show. We would talk shit about the girls in our class, talking about who's hot in the class, what boy that we hate, who sucks at sports, who we want to beat up. I remember those things. Honestly, back then, me and my friend Jacob, we're kind of mean. I think we're bullies, honestly.
But that was you guys were probably that way just amongst yourselves, though, or maybe you were a bully.
No, we kind of talk a lot of shit for little kids back then. The people.
Two people?
Two people.
Oh,
no,
okay.
that's why I said I think as I look back at it, we're kind of like bullies. Yeah, we talked a lot of shit to people. Yeah,
that's not nice, BJ.
I know. So I'm glad I got out of that stage though.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm not that way anymore.
Jacob's a bad influence on you.
He was though. He was from Casablanca, Holmes.
Oh,
Riverside.
damn.
That's where he moved from. Him and his older brother, they're from the Casablanca area, Riverside, and but
Hey,
he was
Riverside's hard, man. There's a lot of
Some
hard
areas,
people in
yeah.
Riverside, man.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, they were. But they were cool Mexican family, you know. And I was always over there, but yeah, we're pretty bad. Breaking windows of vacant houses in the neighborhood.
Oh, there you go. I remember doing that.
We're like Dennis the Menace, man. I'm telling you, doing a lot of bad shit around there. But it was fun. That's child though. You know, everybody does stupid stuff when they're little.
That's what's growing up, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. That's true. But what's up with this Murs?
Okay, so yeah, he came out with this album. Very different. I haven't really listened to Murs in a while since he was actually doing some stuff called Felt, which was like a group with him and Atmosphere.
Oh, okay.
They would do like a collabo, and I love their stuff. You know, it was really funky and stuff. But Murs kind of, I guess he went through a lot of shit that I didn't know about this year or last year. You know, he had a divorce.
Yeah.
He got with a new woman, I believe, and then they got pregnant, and then he had they had a miscarriage, or I think the baby might have been stillborn or something.
Ooh, that's
Yeah,
sad.
like real bad. And so he just does this album, you know, and he just kind of like that Chris Rock thing that I really enjoyed. He just lays it all out on the table and he just raps. You know, it was almost like you could totally tell it was like therapeutic for him, you know.
Uh-huh.
But it was good. I haven't listened to Murs in a long time, and I really like that album. He just dropped it. It was really good.
Oh, okay, I gotta check that out. I know Murs does like a little YouTube thing.
Yeah, we were talking about that in past episodes. Yeah,
so
I haven't listened to any other ones. I got to watch another one of them.
yeah, Murs.
Murs.
I can't remember. I heard Murs for the first time like a couple years ago. I didn't even know he was with what was that group he was with back in the day?
Living Legends.
Yeah, I didn't even know he was part of that group.
Yeah, part of Living Legends. And I think he grew up half in the Bay and half in L.A.
Kind of like Too Short.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember Too Short was L.A. and then like I think he was 14. He moved to the Bay.
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know he was originally from L.A.
Yeah, so Too Short, baby. I'm so hard. Fuck these bitches on the boulevard.
So simple, like nursery rhyme rap.
Yep.
So good. So good.
People loved it, man.
Oh, yeah.
People still to this day. Too Short. He'll never be a lyricist, but like the way he sounds and his flow, just everybody loves Too Short. Yeah. That's crazy.
Well, I appreciate you guys all hanging in here on this music one that we did, this little single. We're missing our B, but next week it'll be back, right?
He should. If not, I'll put him in chokehold and make him do
And we'll
it.
do the singles too.
Sequels too. Nah, he'll be back next week. He's a little occupied, but yeah, I don't know if I do have a pick of the week though. We still
Oh,
could
you do, huh?
yeah, we still could do a pick,
I got one too.
which mine is a website that I came across a couple months ago. It's called jclub.com. If you want to find a lot of cheap stuff, from jewelry, clothes, bedding, anything, it's a legit site. They have good prices. I bought some new bed sheets. You know, mines were getting kind of old. I'm getting holes in them. You know, they're getting worn out. And I was
Yeah,
like,
yep.
I need new bed sheets. So I picked up 2 sets. They got delivered in a week. I love them. And J Club, thank you. You know.
So it's not just bed sheets, and it's basically like a
Oh,
curated site.
yeah, it's a bunch of stuff. You
Okay.
know, electronics, like just a bunch of random different stuff for like cheap, very cheap. Even cheaper than Amazon on some things. They
All
don't
right.
sell like a lot of stuff like Amazon does, but the stuff they do sell, I think they're cheaper than Amazon.
Okay. I'll have to take
Yeah,
a look at that. J
yeah.
Club.
J Club.
Well, mine is an app that I got on my phone. It is Acorn, which is basically kind of like, remember maybe a couple of years ago, some banks were doing that like round up to the nearest dollar,
Yeah.
and they would throw it in your savings.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't really heard that my bank doesn't do it. Any of the banks that I had don't do it now, but this app does it for you. But basically, what it also does is it rounds up. You could also set up any type of monthly thing where it's like, hey, I want to just put $100 away every single month, regardless. So it puts that away also, but it puts it into a stock market.
Oh shoot.
So you're actually, when you're doing that, and then you could set the degree of like, I want something moderate, want something mild, or I want something aggressive. But it's basically just taking all that stuff and then it just moves into there, and then it also invests it. So, you just putting a little bit of money away, it's really just not going to add up for savings. But if you keep on doing it over a long period of time, it could help out a little bit. Like we've been doing it for maybe about 5 months, and we're almost like $600, and it's just, I don't even think
Wow.
about it.
Yeah. So are they automatically taking like 100, or just straight loose change goes straight to the?
Loose change. So like, say you spend $1.50 on something,
Uh-huh.
it'll make that $1.50 to $2, and that
Yeah.
50 cents will go to Acorn, and then you can set it up where, like right now, I just have it where it just automatically does $20 no matter what, no matter if I spend anything or not,
Yeah.
it does $20, and then it does all my roundup also.
Damn. That's
Yeah.
that's a pretty good app. I'm gonna have to check that out because I have a problem saving, and that might be a good way for me to save and invest too, as you
Well,
said.
saving's rough. What I've always heard, and I need to do it myself, is they say we all work and we work to pay our bills.
Pretty
And that's
much.
it. You got to pay your credit card if you got credit cards, student loans, house, mortgage, car payment, insurance, all this stuff is all your money that you make, that you work hard, goes out. They say what you should do every single time you get a paycheck is pay yourself too. And
Okay.
and that's a way of thinking about it. So you pay yourself. Like right now we do $20 or $40, me and Laura. Every single time I get paid, we do 20, me and her, and the first thing we do is we just put it away.
Yeah.
And it's nothing. It's very simple. It's not a lot of money,
Mm-hmm.
but it's just like, that's the first thing I do is when I deposit a check, I take out $40 and we put it away like in a safe that we have at the house. So, and then I totally like go back in there and I look at the money. I'm like, how did it come up to this much money? It's just so simple. It's just a little thing. You don't even see it. Doesn't even really hurt you. But if you just do it every single time, and it helps I get paid every week, but
Yeah.
it just adds up, and it's just really weird. So I've always heard that about pay yourself first, which I thought was
Okay.
kind of cool. It made sense. It's like, hey, we work hard to pay all these other people.
No, that's true. Now I know how you guys take all those damn trips all the time.
Yeah. Well, we got on this. Yeah. We were able to pay all our credit cards off, all our debt, and so that was one thing that we did. That totally helped us out completely. I listened to a guy by the name of Dave Ramsey.
Yeah.
Well, I'll steal Brian's pick. Dave Ramsey. I watched a lot of YouTube videos about him, and he's just a financial guy that doesn't believe in credit, doesn't believe in all that stuff. He believes in saving money and buying something with the money that you save. Why use somebody else's money and owe them more than what you bought? So that's his whole thing, and it's very hard to live his exact lifestyle.
Yeah.
He wants you to not put a car on finance. He wants you not to put a house on finance. He wants you to pay for that cash,
Cool, right?
Yeah. Not the houses he wants you at least to go in 50%. But the car, he's always like, why are you doing that? Why are you doing that? That's hard to live by, but I take a little bit of his pieces and I use them and I implement them in there. And that was one of them was our debt. We had student loans, we had credit cards from just being young and dumb.
Yeah.
And, about before the wedding, we got on the program where we were just like, we're just going to pay off everything. And sure enough, I had a 2-year plan that I thought I was going to take. We literally did it in 9 months.
Damn.
And we were both just completely amazed. It was just we were focused. We were just putting all our money into it, and it worked. And it was just we got completely out of debt. We didn't have anything. There was nothing. And we just realized how much money we were spending on everything. That's one thing too, is budget. Got to put a budget, guys.
Yeah, that's true.
Written budget. It's hard. It sucks, but just to see where all your fucking money goes.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't know this was turning into financial hour too.
Well, podcast people, we got financial advisor Mike here.
Yep.
If he needs his assistance, you can reach him.
Reach me at 555. Do not call me.
Yeah. Well, that's going to end.
But you could email us, or you could hit us up on Instagram.
Yes, Instagram at B.M.B Podcast Financial.
That's just B.M. Financial.
Oh, B.M.
Big money financial.
Big Money Financial. You want to get paid? Come to Big Money Financial. Straight cash, homie.
And I'll spend your money.
But that's going to end our special music edition podcast. If you want to follow us, you can follow us on our social sites. Follow us on iTunes. Listen to the podcast there. Review us. Follow us on Twitter at B.M.B Podcast 3. Instagram b.m.b podcast. Listen to the podcast also on the website bmbpodcast.podbean.com and on Facebook on our fan page. B.M.B Podcast. And I think I am going to be putting up a poll question in the next couple of days because we haven't had one in a while. If you guys have any ideas for a poll question, please comment and let us know.
Yes.
So that's it, and we will see you guys next week.
That concludes the program, and we will be back to our regular scheduled program next week.
Peace.